Happy Friday. We are so glad you're joining us today. It is going to be a great fall weekend. I think you are going to love it. Good, cool weather. I'm loving it. So our first guest is Dr. Tiffany Ahlberg. She's with Ahlberg Audiology. I was just kidding around with Chrissy, and we were trying to remember from 5th and 6th grade what the 3 parts to the middle ear are. And I don't know why I remember this. It's one of the few things I remember from like 6th grade biology, but the 3 parts to the middle ear, and Dr. Ahlberg is going to be so impressed by this: the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. Am I right, Dr. Ahlberg?
You are. You know, the correct term for those 3 parts are the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. But I think that is what we learned in elementary school, is the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. So,
well, yeah, malleus, incus, and the stapes, of course. But, you know, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, the things in Cleveland, we were talking before, and this is the opening to the show, so we typically just shoot the bull a little bit. But I was just up toward the Nantahala, the Ocoee, and if people can get up there today or this weekend and park at just one of the park areas and just look at the water, take a picnic lunch, it is beautiful up your way right now.
Well, I want to go. I haven't been up there in a few weeks, so that inspires me to drive up there this weekend and take a look at it.
Absolutely, and the fall colors, we talked about that off air, are just absolutely beautiful right now too. I'm excited when you come on because I'm a huge technology geek. I love new technology, and the hearing aid and just hearing medical, if for lack of a better term, industry is just in this explosive phase right now where there's so much innovative stuff going on to help people have better quality of life through better hearing. One thing that you're wanting to talk about today, and I guess this bothers people, I can see how it would bother you having something in your ear and maybe it doesn't fit right, maybe it's not causing you to hear properly, but you guys, Ahlberg Audiology has a solution to that. Let's talk about that first.
So we do something called real ear measurements, and it's a probe that we put in people's ears so that we can accurately measure the output of the hearing instrument and precisely tune the hearing instrument to that person's hearing loss. Sometimes people will say, I wear my hearing aids. I had someone come in yesterday and she said, I wear my hearing aids, and she had gotten them years ago, and they were not adjusted for her hearing loss, and that's why she wasn't hearing. So the testing that we can perform in the office tells us it's a verification measurement that we can tell like why someone's not hearing. So it's kind of like taking your car to the shop and saying, what's wrong with it? And you can like plug it in and you know, they say, this is what's wrong with it. That's kind of how that is for us for me as an audiologist. If someone says they're not hearing well, it tells me why. So, and then whenever people do get new technology, or if we're just programming their current technology, then we know when they leave here that we have it tuned exactly the way that they need it.
And Dr. Ahlberg, you were telling me, I believe also off camera, that higher frequencies, people having trouble with higher frequencies can often translate into not hearing properly or hearing well. This test also helps with that?
Well, it does. The most common type of hearing loss is a high frequency hearing loss, and that people don't hear the consonant sounds, so those higher frequency sounds like S's and CH's and T's and K's. So for example, if someone said the word bass, then they may misunderstand S, or if they said bake or bait, all of those are high frequency consonant sounds. And so over the years, as hearing aids have transformed, that has been, the resolution of those higher frequencies has gotten better and better. And so now we're able to make sure that those high frequencies are amplified like they're supposed to be. And the outcome of that has been better speech understanding, better hearing and background noise, and just a more normal type of sound, and people have done really, really well in the last year or so since that has gotten so much better.
You know what's amazing to me is that it's so much more than just making things louder for someone that has hearing loss. That's probably step one, or is that even a step? Is it making things louder for someone, or is it more fine-tune, making sure, like you're talking about, that specific prescription for each individual?
Well, there's two different types of devices. There is just an amplifier, and so if you see an advertisement, for $20 or $100 on the internet, then those are just amplifiers, and sometimes that helps people to hear things that are maybe just too soft. It brings it up, and they're able to hear a little better with that. But the hearing instruments are actually very precisely fine-tuned for that person's hearing loss. So it's, there is a difference. The amplifiers make things louder. The hearing devices make things clear. So that's the biggest difference.
And you mentioned amplifier, and you also have a program, I believe, going on where people can get a free amplified phone. Talk about that.
Well, there's two different programs, and it is there's a federal program and then there's a state program. And if someone has a diagnosed hearing loss, then there is we can refer them to a company, and they will actually come install a telephone into that person's home free of charge. It is covered, and they pay literally nothing unless they don't have internet access. And there's a very small fee for the phone. Then it's a one-time fee, not a monthly fee. And one of the phones, the one that the federal government supplies, it actually has closed captioning on the phone itself. And so if someone has a hearing loss, we refer them. We just send the information to the company, and they come and give the phone. But we can supply the phone or the form, and even your physician can sign that. If you have a hearing loss and get that phone. But that has helped a lot of people.
Real quick, also, Dr. Ahlberg, I know that this is the time of the year when people are really starting to look at their insurance, and their benefits will run out at the end of the year. So you're going to be starting to get pretty crowded. Talk about that as well. People using their benefits right before the end of the year, so that they don't lose out on that.
Yeah, there's several insurance companies that have benefits that start over in January. And so if someone does have those benefits, we really need to start the process early, because we have to do the hearing test, and then we have to order the devices, and then we have to schedule the fitting. So the whole process takes usually around 2 to 3 weeks to get everything in. So if someone does have benefits that they're thinking that that they need to use before the end of the year, it's best to go ahead and start that process so that we can go ahead and get everything verified, verification of the insurance, and then go ahead and start that process. Right now, our schedule is usually about 2 weeks out, so we need to start that process early.
Perfect. Dr. Tiffany Ahlberg with Ahlberg Audiology in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, out there on Ocoee Street. Dr. Ahlberg, thank you so much. Great information. I think you are going to be swamped with patients, and you should be. You're excellent. AhlbergAudiology.com is the website. You can get a lot of the information that we're talking about today there, and you can give Dr. Ahlberg a call at 423-641-0956 and set up an appointment for you and your family, and make sure you are hearing the way you should be. We'll take a quick break and have more 3Plus U right